My name is Joanna McDonald. Welcome to the Light Express. Today I have the beautiful pleasure of sitting here with Sharon Cohen, certified naturopath. And we're going to be talking to her a little bit today about nourishing yourself and what it takes to stay healthy. We're going to talk a little bit about her business and her passion and her purpose. So I'd like to welcome you, Sharon.
Thank you for having me here
Thank
today.
you.
It's really beautiful environment in the country here, and it's a fresh, beautiful day, and I'm excited to speak with you.
Thank you. And I think, as we all know, 90% of healing and health and well-being is really being in clean, healthy environments, which really kind of sets the ball rolling for good health, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah. Healthy food, healthy air, healthy water.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. So let's just get the ball rolling, and I want to ask you, what is your passion and what is your purpose? What calls you to be you every day?
What calls me to be me? Very interesting. It's shifted a bit. Maybe I'll just start with how I got into what I do.
Absolutely.
And so that started, I think my passion about health started when I was very, very young. I used to read my cousin's medical journals, but wasn't so motivated to do what it took to become a doctor. But I was very motivated to become a psychologist. And so my first degree was in psychology, and so it's wonderful because I actually blend naturopathy and psychology together.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I was 27 years old, and my mother was 50 years old, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And I walked with her. I had that journey with her for 2.5 years until she passed away at 53 years old. And I really was felt that there was something missing in the whole. She went through chemo, she went through radiation, and she had surgery, and there was a lot of support, but there was something missing, and I went in search of that missing piece. And then I found naturopathic school. And I realized that she kept getting weaker and weaker and weaker till she died at 67 pounds. And there was something wrong with that picture.
Yeah.
So then I found that we can marry the two. You know, natural medicine, conventional medicine, and use the best of both worlds, natural medicine to build the person's mind, body, and spirit, holistic health. Really. And so that's how I got started, and I started my practice 18 years ago.
Wow. Okay, 18 years.
18 years ago, and now in the last few years, my passion, I think through attracting a lot of women to come see me in my practice, I really enjoy the spirit of the woman and in search of the divine feminine. We hear that a lot now.
Yes.
And that's really my joy and my passion, is really for women to get their magnificence.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Their worth.
It's so needed in today's society, isn't it?
Yes.
We're all coming up, rising up, and it's beautiful to see somebody who's embodying that spirit.
Yes.
And going forward with it, yes.
And to support women to see that they don't have to work for their worthiness. They just are worthy.
Oh, well, sometimes it's a little bit tricky getting there.
Yes.
But I think
that's
I'm
the journey, I
Yeah.
think, for a lot of women. And that's the journey that I hold hands with them and walk through slowly. As I still, I'm living that journey for myself as well.
Awesome to see, because a lot of times I think we see people are one side, allopathic doctors or naturopathic. There's kind of a little bit of a war going on where it's like, well, this is better than that, and it's kind of like a subliminal fight, if you will, for a lot of people, because it's like, oh, doctors are bad, or naturopaths don't know what they're doing, and it's kind of refreshing to see your attitude that you're blending the two of conventional, I would say, like Western medicine versus Eastern medicine and new age medicine, but new schools of thought, and it's kind of amazing. I think that if the two can work together, then why not? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that part of your answer answered my question. My second question was when you were young, did you know what you wanted to do? Did you have this much passion to go forward? And did you envision that you were going to be this successful when you were young?
I think my parents fought a lot when I was young. So I was really motivated to be a marriage counselor. So I can help all the couples that were struggling in the world.
I see.
But then when I worked all that pain out for myself, I think I didn't really need to do that anymore.
Okay, well, necessity is the mother of all invention,
Yes,
right?
right.
Right on. And I'm just going to switch gears a little bit here because Leanne does focus a lot on passion and purpose, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later, but I'd like to talk a little bit about nourishment because your business focuses a lot on infinite nourishment. And
Yes.
Can you tell us where that inspiration comes from, what that means?
Yes, for me, nourishment is, again, very holistic. It's nourishing the physical body because we tend to sometimes forget about the body. And we, especially people who look at themselves as spiritually aware. And we have to understand that the spirit, lives through the physical body. So the body is our temple, and we really have to start by nourishing it, loving it, and taking care of it.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that's really important. And nourishment on the psychological aspects as well. And our self-talk is so important. That either gives us energy or takes away energy, depending on the self-talk.
Yeah.
Right? And then a lot that you talk about is our passion and purpose, on the spiritual aspect. Is like, what am I here for anyway?
Yeah.
And the infinite part is that when we take the time to really hook into our spirit or hook into divine and source and allow that part to speak to us, then we understand that it is infinite. We are infinite beings.
Yes.
We are infinite beings, but we tend to, because we live in this physical body that looks very finite, think that we can only expand so far.
Yes.
We can only grow ourselves so far. But when we I think a lot of the work I do is to help people understand what are the beliefs that they have instilled in them and were brought up with, and I help them to let go of that. So growth, I don't think it's getting anything. It's letting go of what stops us from being the infinite beings that we truly are.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter, I guess, how many supplements you take or what kind of... It does matter, but it's not just about the food. It's not just about the supplements, because if it's inside, if the story is not good inside, then you can just forget about it. All of the things that you're putting in, if the emotions are in the way, or, if it can easily go right downhill,
You're so right, Joanna. Absolutely.
Yeah. So can you tell us how you nourish yourself and how you sustain yourself on a regular basis?
Yes. I can actually do that. I am working on a very large event, a symposium for women, and so that has taken my self-care to the next level. So I'm really, each and every moment, being aware to walk my talk. So practice what I preach every day to others. And for me, that means definitely nourishing my cells and myself in a way that sustains me for the day. So I do lots of juicing. I do lots of smoothies with nourishing fats and proteins and fruits and vegetables, lots of fiber and good oils and coconut oil and all that. Yeah. And so that sustains me for a great amount of time, keeps my energy high. I stay on quite an alkaline diet. I myself am a vegetarian. I wouldn't recommend that necessarily for everybody, but it works for me. Yeah. And
you have to listen to your own body.
I have
and the
to
messages,
listen,
right?
And that's great, because that's the message that I give to people, is really tune into yourself and see what works for you. So number 1 is nutrition. Number 2 is rest. Yeah. And so I've been working 7 days a week now for a few months, and it's been very tiring. And not full days, but I hit a low last week. And so it wasn't about... I used to preach, it's important to get your exercise, it's important to do that, but no, what's really important is to listen to your body. And last week I didn't have the extra energy for exercise. So I'd say listening to my body, it was more about rest, and it was about getting nourishing sleep. Yeah. Really sleeping well.
Which
and
a lot of us are lacking in most of the time in today's society.
Yes, and so there's a lot of things that support me hot Epsom salt bath. But if you're too
Great idea.
depleted, I don't recommend Epsom salts. Just take a warm bath. It gets the body ready for bed.
Okay.
And I do meditation.
Yeah.
Most definitely. So
Important.
every day I connect to my higher self, to divine, to source. And I allow source to source me.
Yes, that's the best part. Yeah.
And when I get into the most trouble is when I think that I'm doing it alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's to remember that I'm not, and to hook into the deepest part of me, that that's where I energize from, and remember that I do what I do in service of all, in service of divine. And then I get my joy and my pleasure back, even in the moments when I'm really, really tired.
Yeah, that's really important. I think that's a really important perspective to have, because if you go at it from that perspective, then it's just kind of like, well, I'm just following my bliss, and everything is blissful, and it's not a chore to do everything, and you don't get drained, and you're not tired. Oh my God, here I go again. It's so difficult. It's just really, you're going at it from a real joy perspective, and that makes all the difference in your perspective of your day and how your life is running, if it's smoothly, if it's not. It's all about your shift and your perception, right?
Yes, joy is very important, and to get out and do be with people who also you feel that you could be your authentic self with, and laugh.
Yeah,
laughing is really healing. Get out and laugh.
It is.
You know, and be silly. Sometimes I just get silly in my kitchen. You know, I sing and I dance, and my kids think I'm nuts, but getting silly really helps me get back to the inner child within me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, life is too serious, I find, these days. Don't you find? Like, we're all kind of like, okay, well, not all of us, but a lot of the times it's like schedules and deadlines, and I have to be there by this time and that, and everything is in a little tight little box. And at the end of the day, I really find myself even becoming very serious and very agitated and irritated with myself if I don't get, X, Y, and Z done by a certain amount of time and deadlines. And it just puts a lot of pressure on yourself to, accomplish things when you're exhausted, when you're tired, when you don't feel like it, when you're not actually being creative or connected to spirit. And it's kind of like just spinning your wheels, and then you just feel worse. It's like a snowball,
Yes.
And that's not good for anybody. So.
And that's not good for it.
So it's good to be silly.
It's good to be silly.
It's
good to be silly, and it's great to give yourself a great big hug when you need it.
I'll give Sharon a hug right now.
It's so great, to allow your heart to open and just acknowledge, sometimes we're so drained because we go on to the next project and the next project, like you're talking about, our busy life, without taking the time to really look and see, wow, what did I just accomplish? That was amazing. Yeah. And really, allow yourself to be moved by yourself.
And it's not selfish to do that, by the way.
And it's not selfish to do that.
We're taught in our society that we have to sort of downplay our accomplishments and, be modest, this and that. No, those days are gone, right?
Those days are gone.
Right.
And the days of giving it all up for your kids are gone also. It's like I told my kids when they were little, I told my boys, and I would tell this to all my clients, that, when it's time, when mommy's tired, she's going into the bathroom for half an hour. Do not come in unless the house is burning down, because when mommy comes out of the bathtub, she'll be a much happier and much more relaxed mommy. Yeah. And some people would say to me, you actually do that to your little kids? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm training them when they're little, because, but what I see that has come out of it is my boys have learned now that it's okay for them to take time out for themselves.
Yes,
and it's okay to say, I'm going in my room and I don't want to be bothered now, and they need their space. So they've learned to do that, and I think that's great.
Yeah, it is very important, because you're the role model for your children. If then that cycle starts even younger, you know what I mean? And they get those really good habits. Leanne and I were talking in an interview the other day, ingrained a little bit earlier, and then they go off and they lead successful lives. It's
yes.
Yeah, very good.
Yes.
Talk about successful lives. Tell us a little bit about this juicy women's symposium that you've got going on. It's October, right?
It's October 19th, and I'm really excited. Actually, it has been a dream of mine for many years, and I was doing seminars on a smaller scale. But about 6 months ago, I felt like I was woken up in the middle of the night, and all this information came to me. It was all in my head, and it was like, okay, it's the time now. Women want this. Women need this. Put together this event and get together 6 speakers. That's what it was. It was get together 6 speakers, reserve a hotel, and create an event that will empower women, but empower women in the way I didn't want it to just be an event where you come and listen to a bunch of great speakers, because you could do that online. We're not about that. It's about coming with a project. It's about coming with an area of life that you've been struggling with and just saying, okay, now we're going to get down and dirty with this project. And I'm going to listen from this place throughout the day. And I'm going to write down everything that's opened up for me and the actions that I'm going to take out of it, so that when I leave, I actually have a plan. I'm inspired to go out and create and move ahead whatever it is that you love, that whatever it is that you're passionate about. And so that's our plan for October 19th. And it's going to be a day of fun, enjoyment. We're serving an organic lunch and a couple of snacks and prizes. And it's going to be, and my vision is also a community. Women coming together into community, of support. Well, we will be a loving and supportive team to support each other and to stand for your greatness.
It's so important, because I think we get lost in what is typically a man's world, and I think it's really important to know that you're not alone. And I think a lot of women entrepreneurs or business owners that are just starting their little business, not to say little businesses, but if they're starting from home or they're just starting their businesses now, it's important to be with like-minded individuals. And we say that all the time, that there's so much power and confidence and self-esteem that comes with that just sort of boosting, and getting the ball rolling and just feeling like in the company of people who are just like you are, not feeling like you're so alone, that you just start walking alone and aimlessly in a path.
Yes, exactly.
Because chances are there's a whole bunch of people that are doing the same thing that you are, women in this case.
Yes, exactly. And so if you feel like your happiness is on hold because you don't have the perfect guy, or you haven't lost the weight you wanted to lose in the past 20 years, or, you don't have the work life that you've always dreamt of, you're not living your passion, then come and join us and bring a project with you and allow yourself to be moved by spirit. And this, the information that came to me is that this is a calling in Montreal specifically for women.
Yeah. So go sign up. We're going to tell you at the end of this interview how to get in touch with Sharon and sign up for this awesome symposium October 19th, 2013 in the Montreal area. So come one, come all. I know there's still some few spaces left, so get on board pretty quick because they're going to go fast. And one last question I have for you, Sharon, is the other day I pulled an angel card and it said, what legacy are you leaving for others? And I think tonight I'd like to pose that question to you. I'd like to ask you what your legacy is for everybody else.
What's my legacy?
Yeah.
I think I pretty well said it before. I think really if I can make a difference with just a few women, I think it's up to us women now really to take our authentic power back and stand for peace, to stand for nurturing, we're the nurturers, to stand for this is the way it's going, to create a world of nourishment, of peace, of joy, of passion, and come together in communities to do it. We don't have to do it together. And I think that's what I'm being called to do, is to bring women together in support, in love, in gratitude, and for all of us to shine our brightest light in the world.
Yes.
And it starts with one person at a time. Yeah. And if we shine, if I get who I am really as a spirit, as a divine feminine, and then I radiate that out in my family, in my workplace, with my friends, with everybody I meet on the street, and we all do that, and we all support each other as girlfriends to do that. Wow, that's creating a shift in the world.
Absolutely. I'm already feeling excited just sitting beside you. Yes, we should. We're all doing that. We're all going forward every day. I pray that every single one of you has the opportunity to meet Sharon at some point in your life, because it will be so much more enriched just by meeting this lovely individual. So I want to thank her so much. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really enjoyed chatting with you, and I can't wait to share this video with everybody else. So thank you so much.
Should I give you the websites?
Yes, absolutely. Share your information. Yes, go ahead. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay, so I do private consultations, not only with women, but mostly with women. And you can find me at infinitenourishment.com if that's something you're interested in. And we can, even if you're not ready to commit, if you want to have just a conversation with me, I'm so happy to do that with you. And if you're ready to find out more about our symposium, you can go to www.juicywomensjourney, all one word, .com. And even if you can't join us for the day, you can sign up to receive all our wonderful bonuses from all of our nourishing speakers. So thank you for tuning in, and namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.